Hello everyone, my name is Simon, I live in Poland and I am also gay. This silence isn't here for nothing because if you follow the medias, if you are interested a little in this subject, you probably know that living a gay life in Poland is very, very hard. It's not extremely hard like in Russia, because in Russia guys are discriminated as fuck. But in Poland isn't well anyway. You should know that Poland is at the bottom of the list of all the European countries as it comes to respecting LGBTQ plus rights. So it's really frustrating because we are living next to Germany, close to Sweden, where gays live their lives like everyone. So living a gay life in Poland isn't really gay, isn't funny. At the beginning, I have to apologize for my English because it isn't perfect. You probably noticed that I'm not a native speaker. I'm really stressful. I have anxiety right now, my heart is pounding because I'm expecting that in section of comments I'll see something like, oh, you should go back to school, if you don't know English you should educate yourself. But I'm recording this anyway because I believe this issue is very important. The world should know about it. You should know why I feel that my life is so poor because of the Polish government, the society, all the environment I live in, and I have to tell you about it. You know, in this video I don't want to talk broadly about Polish approach towards gay people. You should know only the outline of that. Polish main party, very conservative party, Law and Justice, use LGBTQ plus community as a threat for a Polish society. They want the Polish society to be afraid of gay people. It was only the political game because they treated themselves as a defenders of Polish values. They also invented a new expression, LGBT ideology. And nowhere in the world LGBT community is treated as an ideology. But in Poland, for my government, I am not a person, I am an ideology. I have to tell you something important about Polish democracy. We don't have democracy. The Polish democracy is only on the paper because we are losing day after day, one after another, bastions of democracy here in Poland because of the actions of ruling party, Law and Justice. They took over a Polish public television so them could spread their propaganda. They affects to courts, to judges, so them could judge in their favor. They underfund the Polish regions where people vote for oppositionist parties. So as you can see, we have to fight for our freedom every day. If you look at the Polish society, we are divided exactly in half. One half vote for Law and Justice and the other half for opposition. In this first half we have poorly educated people, large families who are beneficiaries of rich social system in Poland. They are afraid that if the opposition wins the elections, they could take it back from them, take it back all this money. Also, the aged people are voters for Law and Justice because they also receive a lot of money. The 13th, the 14th and the 15th pension. And this is not a joke. Here in Poland, votes of poorest ones are bought by the ruling party. And we have the other half of the society, the voters for oppositionist parties. We have a few oppositionist parties in Poland, very divided. They are in constant conflict. They can't create a unique front to abolish a main party in Poland. So we have here voters who are young, who are well educated, who are also residents of the big cities, the very young, ambitious ones who are the future of all the nation. So as you can see, this is not the country for a young people. The main strategy of Law and Justice is to ensure people by the means of propaganda that the opposition will destroy Poland. They want them to know that if the opposition will take over a power in Poland, they will abolish also Polish values, which are in fact the values of the Catholic Church. They believe that gay marriages, the abortion, the secularization of the state will affect to Polish people for their values. This is only the outline of the problem of homophobia in Polish government. But I want you to know what is more important, how people feel, especially gay people, in this unfriendly environment. I was raised as almost everyone in Poland in 90s in very conservative family. Poland is very Catholic. Poland is more Catholic than Vatican, because at the time when Vatican softens their views, for example about homosexuality, Poland goes the other direction. As a child I was in a little different situation because I was in Jehovah's Witnesses family, and you have to know only one thing. If you think that Catholic family in Poland is conservative, you have to multiply this by 4 and you will have my situation. I don't want to talk more about it. This is enough a piece of information you should know about my situation. But if you want me to record something more about my childhood in that religion, so far I've posted that kind of material only in Polish, but I can also post something in English. I don't want you to feel sorry about my fate. I want you only to know that growing up in Poland as a gay was very hard, but growing up as a gay in religious minority was extremely hard. And all the minorities were fucked up in Poland, no matter if it was a ethnic or religious one. Now the times are changing and it's a little better now, but as I told, the statistics are brutal. We are the most homophobic country in the European Union. What happens in young people's minds when they are discovering something in them that are condemned by the society? Most of them reacts by denial. They try to pack this subject in the little box and then they are hiding this in the closet very deep, because facing the truth would be too hard. You have no idea how many gays or lesbians married someone of the opposite sex just because the society forced them to think they are straight. I was also very close to propose to a girl because I believed this is the only way of life for me. My denial lasted for 24 years. It led me to severe depression and anxiety. Most of the gay people in Poland don't tell about their sexual orientation their parents. The units that came out to their families aren't supported by them. Do you want to know how the homophobia looks like in Poland? We are not beaten in the streets. Most of us hadn't heard the insults about their orientation because this behavior in Poland is really rare. These are extreme cases. Homophobia in Poland is visible by the silence, by not bringing up the topic of someone's homosexual orientation. In denial in Polish society that gays and lesbians exist. It's even worse than insult. Do you know what can you hear most often during the street polls about gays in Poland? I have nothing to gays, the people say, but I want them to do what they do only in their beds. They shouldn't show on the streets. They shouldn't be visible. I give you an example of my family. I came out to my mom a few years ago. It was a very painful process. It lasted so long for her to accept that. But even now I know this acceptance isn't full. I know that deeply in her heart she condemns me because Bible says the homosexuality is bad. My grandpa, grandma, uncles, aunts know very well that I'm gay from my social medias, but I haven't had a serious conversation with them about it. They don't want to know what I feel, what I cope with that situation. They don't ask. Why? Because they still want to believe I'm straight. I don't want to touch this issue myself because I feel also very uncomfortable with that. I hope that they will ask me something about it one day, but I know they won't. I have to be realistic. They won't because this topic is too hard for them. This would ruin their conservative way of looking at the world. I live pretty comfortable here. I have friends, I have job. No one hadn't ever beaten me in the street just because I'm gay, but I know that I can't freely say about that in the discussion because I know that people would feel cringed. This is very uncomfortable. I can see it and I feel awfully with that because I know that for them would be easier if I didn't exist. This is hard, but this is all true. And this is a main reason I don't feel safe here in my own country. Maybe someone could tell, if you don't like living here, so leave. But this is a very oppressive way of thinking. I really hate it because I believe that any citizen of any country should be forced to leave their countries because they are different. It's not fair. It's inhuman. Every person should feel okay in his her own country. This is our basic right. And I really love my country. I think that Polish people are very resourceful, they are very hardworking, and the Polish economy is growing now, so I have great opportunities here. But I think that Polish society needs to change because we are very insecure as a nation, and our own complexes make us to hate another people because we feel a danger from them. Everyone in Poland should ask themselves, do we really need the enemy to unite us? And does LGBT community is the right enemy? Thank you guys for watching. It was very emotional for me, but I know this is very important also, and I believe that world should hear that. So if you like this video, spread this message to the world. So share this with friends, with family. I would be very happy. If you want, you can also subscribe my channel, but so far I've posted everything in Polish and you can understand only Życie. But I promise you that the materials in English will be posted in the future also. I bet you would also have a problem with reading a name of this channel, Odstępczuszki Szymona, because this is very hard expression for not the Polish person. I have to also This time apologize my Polish subscribers because probably I won't have a time to add Polish subtitles in this movie, but I'll give you this opportunity as viewers to add the subtitles, so maybe you have some time and you could do that for me. It would be a very great support. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Sorry again for my accent, for my mistakes. I hope that most of the information was understandable for you. Please leave the comment if you want to share with me what do you think about a problem of homophobia, also in Poland. Maybe you have your own ideas how to change this situation. It will be very, very interesting if I could read that. Okay, spread this message to the world. That's all. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye!